I'm standing here to read the citation of my father, my lecturer, my mentor, and my boss, Professor Samson Duna. Samson, you right? Duna. Engineer Professor Samson Duna is an erudite professor of civil engineering and the current Director General / DG CEO of the Nigerian Building and Road Research Institute. It's a parastatal under the aegis of Federal Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, FMST and I. He began his educational career in 1974. He attended the following institutions and obtained the following qualifications: Ikan Primary School, Oshe, Gigiring, Jos, Plateau State, where he obtained the Primary School Living Certificate. Government Science Secondary School, Toro, Bauchi, where he obtained General Certificate of Education. Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University, where he obtained Bachelor of Engineering, Civil Engineering. Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, where he obtained Masters of Science, Civil Engineering. And Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University, again in Bauchi, where he obtained Doctor of Philosophy, PhD, Civil Engineering Structures. His working career started at Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University, Bauchi, as a graduate assistant in Civil Engineering Department, where he rose to the rank of the Professor of Civil Engineering, specializing in structures. Engineer Professor Samson Duna is a Korean registered engineer. He is also a member of the following professional bodies: Nigerian Institute of Engineering Management, MNIEM, Fellow, Nigerian Institute of Civil Engineering, FNICE, Fellow, Nigerian Association of Engineering, Geology and Environment, FNIGE, Fellow, Academy of Natural Science and Engineering in Nigeria, FANSE, Fellow, Nigerian Institution of Highways and Transportation Engineers, FNIHTE, Fellow, National Labor Institute, FNLI, Fellow, Institute of Oil and Gas Research and Hydrocarbon Studies, FIOGR, and Fellow, Nigerian Society of Engineers, FNSE. He is a member of Industrial / Sectorial Board for the Regional Transport, Research and Education Center, Kumasi, Ghana, TREC. Engineer Professor Samson Duna has to his credit over 80 publications research publications in learned local and international journals, as well as technical reports, workshops, seminars, and conferences both within and outside the country. He has supervised over 200 students undergraduate and postgraduate, comprising of postgraduate diplomas, masters and doctors of philosophy. He taught in the university for over 26 years before moving to Nigerian Building and Road Research Institute. Engineer Professor Samson Duna joined Nigerian Building and Road Research Institute as Director of Research and later became the Director General / CEO of the Institute. Engineer Professor Samson Duna designed, supervised, and was involved in the construction of various types of infrastructure spread all over the country. Engineer Professor Samson Duna is a recipient of many awards from professional bodies, non-governmental organizations, NGOs, communities, youth organizations, and religious bodies. Engineer Professor Samson Duna's hobbies include investigative engineering research, watching football, and if you like to know, he's a big fan of Liverpool FC. He also likes interacting with the youths, with emphasis on the Boys Brigade. He also enjoys assisting the less privileged and community development through communal efforts. Engineer Professor Samson Duna is married and blessed with children. Thank you very much.
You have done wonderfully well. You are the pride of the Northeast. We pray that God will continue to give you more life, long life, so that we'll continue to enjoy these lectures. This is the 5th. I've not been privileged to have attended some of them, but today I'm attending the 5th lecture. I believe the 6th and the 7th I will still be there to attend. My friend, all tired. We've been here since yesterday. Since morning we've been here. Though some people like us are just coming now. Some have been here since 10 o'clock in the morning. I want to assure you that this lecture will be brief and it will be very, very interesting. And that's the good part of it. I want to stand on the existing protocol that has been well established. But I've seen good friends of mine that are here, my colleagues, my chairman, and my roommate in the university is also here. So I find it very difficult, where am I starting from? And coincidentally, the chairman of this occasion is the president of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Tassi Wodiru, who is not here. And I didn't hear somebody representing him. And coincidentally, Tassi Wodiru was my roommate in the university. Engineer Alpha Yusuf is here, my roommate for 5 good years in ATV about it. He works with FEMA. Engineer Alpha Yusuf, can you stand up for recognition? Thank you very much. This is Engineer Alpha Yusuf. He's a staff of FEMA. I want to especially acknowledge for doing wonderfully well. I wish this gathering will continue. We appreciate you very much. You see, when my citation was being read, that I did my primary school in Jos, I saw Jos people were smiling. I saw my senior brother head was shaking his head, his one. And Janko, all of them are from Jos, and we know ourselves very well. And my primary school is still there. University of Maiduguri. I served for almost 4 years before I left. So once again, Maiduguri is always home to me. Of Nigerian Society of Engineers, Giri branch. I said, can I capture the summit, leaving the Giri branch? Then I said, let me capture the 2 because the 2 incidents are on the same day. So you can see that's why the 2 headings are appearing. So in that, because of that, I want to thank the executives of Nigerian Society of Engineers, Giri branch, for giving me that opportunity to present this paper. Despite my time schedule, when I found out that this is a request coming from Giri, I said this is the branch I intend to belong. So I don't want to miss that opportunity so that I continue to prepare. So this is generally the topic, and the topic reads, locally sourced material appraisal for sustainable building in Nigeria. So most of what we'll be discussing today will be centered on Nigeria because it's a locally available material, basically a local content. So let's go to the introduction. The presentation outline with respect to this presentation will be as follows. We'll look at the introduction. We'll try to look at what makes up a building and where does the material comes in. Then we'll look at an array or a list of normal conventional building material that is normal. Then we'll look at that of alternative one. Then we'll look at NIBRI as a contributor. What NIBRI has done with respect to locally sourced material. We'll look at them one by one. It is not like theory. This is not something like bending moment. I remember when someone said bending moment, it's like getting scared. He said, oh, we are doing shear force and bending moment there and again. So this is not an issue of bending moment and shear force that you cannot see. This is something practically that you can see. Material that is available, material that is practically there. We can test it, we can see how it feels, we can know the strength, and so on and so forth. Then, we'll look at the challenges associated with use of local materials. Then we'll conclude and we'll look at the way forward. So basically, let's talk about building. Building serves different purposes to man. We told as a building, the basic function of a building is to accommodate human being and his property. But it goes beyond that in any certain part of Nigeria. If you want to demarcate your class of society, people would like to see the type of building you're inside. I know somebody that absconded from going home. He absconded from visiting his village because he doesn't have a house in the village. And from that day, he stopped going home. Sometimes a building depicts the culture of an environment. Every building has its own way of depicting who you are. So basically, building is expected to serve certain purposes in life. Is it the walling component? Is it the foundation? What makes building to be expensive? Why can't people afford to have building on their own? We look at the entire scope. If we can reduce certain component of the building, will the building be made affordable to everybody? Someone tells me that when you come to Abuja, one of the most difficult things is the price of rent of a building. Someone say include school fees of children, include transportation. These three things. If you have house, you can pay your school fees of your child, and at the same time, if you have a building, these three, if you have them, you can comfortably stay in Abuja. How true is that? I don't know. We all agree that cost of material plays a vital role with respect to owning a house. What is making you not to own a house? We will summarize it on the cost of material. And the cost of this material is always on the increase. When you start today, tomorrow you go to the market, it's something else. Go and try and buy steel. Steel bar, go to the market, ask the cost of steel. After 2 weeks, go and ask the cost of steel again. The cost of steel has never been stable, going on. Look at cement. Go to the market, a bag of cement is 50 kg. Ask the price today. Go in 2 weeks' time. It continues to go up. And so on and so forth. Cement, you use blocks, cement to produce blocks. As long as the cost of cement is going up, the cost of block is also going up. So if we can have an alternative for cement, let there be a shift from normal conventional material of cement to something as an alternative to cement. It will have been far better and will have a way forward. And how do we do that? We are meant to understand that if you are cooking food, if you are using Maggi, there are different varieties of Maggi. It's either you use no, if the cost of no is expensive. You go to Maggi. If Maggi is expensive, you go to Reiko. If Reiko, you go to the Wadawa, even the cost base. All these are varieties that are existing. But my professional colleagues, cement has no alternative. What do we do to give an alternative to a miner? So they try to come up with a way of identifying a locally available material. And if we can get a material that can substitute cement, I'm sure the cost of building will be something else. It has been established that Nigeria is endowed with numerous materials. Numerous materials, if you have to continue mentioning them, the materials exist naturally. They can be from agricultural products, they can be a waste from industry. They are there in existence. Some are existing as waste. However, these materials are not well utilized. They are still there. We will sit down and make research in the university. We are not bringing publications out of it. Our aim basically is, I want our publication to be promoted to the next slide. And the good result is there in the shelf. We are not using it. The problem might be, who is coming to look at this shelf to commercialize our research? Put it into use. People will say, wow, is this going to be good? Will it last long? How much is it? You saw Nigerians are very good in buying high-priced material. They believe anything that is low in price is inferior. That's the belief of Nigerians. When a Nigerian is going to buy a drug in the market, they say, we have been selling this drug, you are looking for antibiotics. This one is 1,000. This one is 5,000. The first impression is that the 1,000 is not what? It's not good. You want something higher. Similarly, that's exactly what is happening with construction materials. We prefer to go for something very, very high in terms of cost, not minding whether it meets the certain requirement or not. NIPRI on its own is a research agency. What NIPRI has been doing is established to conduct research. And if we to conduct the research, we try to see that we bring the research to meet certain criteria. Is the material available? Is the material affordable? Is the material cheap? Is the material durable? And is it available in the market? These are questions we ask ourselves in doing the research. The essence of the research basically is to bring out material that meet a certain criteria. You all agree with me that building is good. Building has its own purpose. But cost of building is affected by the cost of materials. 50 to 80% of the cost of the building is linked to the cost of material. Take for instance, you are building a house. You start by paying labor for excavation. How much is the labor for excavation? You put labor for pouring concrete, foundation. How much is labor for pouring concrete? You put labor for laying your blocks. How much labor for laying your blocks? You do your formwork, you put your reinforcement, and so on. Both of the cost of the building is centered on the cost of the material. And that is why today's paper tries to highlight the conventional material as well as the alternative material that is in existence. Why? With the view to create awareness. If you can create awareness